Welcome to One Book, One Review. Hey everybody, today's book is the last book in the Hunger Games Trilogy, Mockingjay by Suzanne. Before I start, a warning, it's not possible to talk about this book without spoiling the first two, so if you haven't read them, please don't watch this review. Okay, now that we're alone, I have to say I really didn't like this book. It took me forever to finish, and at first I thought it was because I didn't want the story to end. But the more I read, the more I realized I really didn't care for the story. Let's have a short look at what's happening. Catching Fire ended with Katniss being rescued from the arena and taken to District 13. This is where she lives now, as District 12 has been destroyed. In the beginning of the book, she's still healing from her injuries and negotiating with herself and the rebels about her turning into the Mockingjay, the symbol and inspiration of the war. The districts and the capital are openly at war now, and the rebels try to take over the districts, but they need Katniss to be the face of the rebellion. Katniss also has her own interests. She wants to rescue Peter and kill President Snow. Now all this is what I expected, and I was waiting for the war to start and to see what life in 13 is like. If you don't want to get spoiled about the society in 13, better turn off the video now. In the first two books we learned about life in the capital. The people there seem to live for their pleasure only, and life is about entertainment and abundance. In Mockingjay, we get to know the people of District 13. They are under a strict regimen. Their days are regulated by a schedule that is imprinted on their arms every morning. Life is about work and restrictions. Food that has always been so important in Katniss' narration is pale and tasteless. Portions are assigned according to the minimum your body needs to function. Pleasure and entertainment are non-existent. In District 13, there's an extreme lack of freedom, on an even higher level than in the other district. There is a desire for equality, but life in 13 is a lot less attractive than anywhere else in Panem. After reading about this other society model, I caught myself thinking that life in District 12 was the most desirable and normal, apart from the Hunger Games, of course. But the people there worked together and they had a fair amount of freedom. This certainly added to the personalities of Katniss, Gale, and Peter. The characters are a major disappointment in Mockingjay. Here's another spoiler danger, as I'll mention their character development. A plus is definitely that Peter is a lot less annoying than in the other books. Although his role was changed dramatically, he's still flat, and maybe even flatter than before. Gale didn't live up to expectations, as his positive character traits weren't enlarged, but his dark side took over and he appeared mean and heartless. But the biggest shock was the change in Katniss. She grew cynical and egocentric. Her best quality used to be that she cared about others, but now she hardly seems to notice them. And then she turned into an idiot. She spends so much time away from the action, consumed by her own petty drama, making so many wrong and stupid decisions, it's really annoying. Before, I always perceived her as clever and quick in understanding situations and strategies, but now she always comes to immature conclusions. Looking at the book, the story development is nerve-wracking. The war happens outside of our reach, and when we finally enter the action, Katniss insists on looking at it like another round of the Hunger Games. The casualties are numerous, but emotionless. The end of the war isn't spectacular at all, and everything that happens afterwards is just ridiculous. I'm sorry to say this, but Mockingjay feels like it's been written by a different person. At the end of the book, I didn't like any of the characters anymore, and I rather felt lectured about society and human nature. This was a really disappointing end to an otherwise imaginative and action-packed trilogy. Tell me what you thought about Mockingjay. Did you like the character and story development? Let me know in comments. Thank you all for watching One Book, One Review. Bye bye.